Hi everybody, this is a new lesson in grammar. In this lesson we are going to take verbal meaning and the progressive. In verbal meaning and the progressive, since we talk about the meaning, then this is related to what? To other branch of linguistics, which is called semantics. Semantics is related to what? To the meaning of lexicons or lexemes. Good. Or let us say words in the dictionary are what? Lexemes or lexicons. Now we are dealing with what? With the different meanings of what? Of verbs. And what is the relation of these different meanings to the progressive? In the progressive, we are going to talk about what? Dynamic verbs and stative verbs. We are going to talk about dynamic verbs and stative verbs. You see? Good. What are these different meanings? What are these different meanings? And how you are going to deal with them according to what? To the dynamic and the stative. The dynamic, as you remember, when there is certain activity in the verb, we say that the verb is dynamic. Dynamic, that the verb can take ing. When the verb is dynamic, the verb can take ing. When the verb is stative, the verb does not take ing. Let us see the different meanings and how they are dynamic and how they are stative. First, the verbs, for example, activity verbs. What do we call these verbs? We call them activity verbs. So if I ask you in the examination, give me 2 activity verbs in 2 sentences. You give me one of these verbs. You give me one of these verbs. For example, abandon, ask, beg, call, drink, etc. to the end. Right? These are activity verbs. The others are process verbs or process verbs. You see? Process verbs are change, deteriorate, grow, mature, slow down, widen, also to the end. Both activity and the process verbs are frequently used in a progressive aspect. You remember that the progressive is what? Is aspect. What are other aspects? They are the simple, you see, and the the perfect. The perfect. You see, these are aspects. So both activity and the process verbs they can be what? Can be or can frequently be used in a progressive aspect to indicate incomplete events in a progress. Other dynamic verbs, verbs of bodily sensation, which are ache and feel and hurt and itch, etc. You see, these are what? Verbs of bodily sensation. And the transitional verbs, transitional event verbs, which are arrive, die, fall, land, etc. These verbs are what? Are dynamic verbs which can take ing or can be used in the progressive aspect. Other verbs also, momentary verbs, which are, for example, hit, jump, kick, knock, etc. You see? Good. These are what? These are the different verbs and their meanings which can be used in what? In dynamic form. Okay? Let us now come to what? To the stative verbs which cannot take ing or they do not have what? The activity. For example, abhor, adore, astonish, believe, desire, detest, dislike, doubt, feel, etc. This is a list of what of the dynamic of the stative verbs, which are called, what is the first group of these stative verbs? It is called what? The verbs of inert perception and cognition. Verbs of inert perception and cognition. The other group are what? Relational verbs. This classification of these verbs according to what? According to their names, according to their meanings, So there are verbs of inert perception and cognition, and relational verbs, which are what? Apply, be, belong, concern. You cannot say I'm belonging to. You see? You say I belong to, or this belongs to this. Not it is belonging. It belongs. It consists of. You do not say it is consisting of. You see? Unless it is used in, for example, not always. You cannot use them all the time, but in certain cases you may use them with ing. As for example, let me explain this. Look well, we have superordinate clause and subordinate clause. Put this in your minds, keep it well, because you are going to take the superordinate clause and the subordinate clause in details in 4th year. You see, the superordinate clause is the main clause, and the subordinate clause is the secondary clause. You see? Good. If we find any one of these, also we said that this is what this is. The main clause is what? Finite, and the subordinate clause is non-finite most times. Look at these verbs. These verbs which are stative, in the finite clause they do not take ing. In the finite clause they do not take ing, but in the secondary clause or in the non-finite they may take ing. Okay? So what do you say, for example? You say, thinking of you all the time, occupied my mind, for example, or something like this. When in, for example, in the secondary clause or subordinate clause, we may use it what? In the progressive or in the continuous form, in secondary clause. But as a main clause you cannot use it. Let us take this example. I think you are right. I think you are right. Clear? What is think here? Think is a stative. What do you mean by stative? It does not take ing. Good. Now think here took ing. Then why do you say it does not take ing? Because think here is not like think here. Okay? How? Think here belongs to the stative. It is a stative, you see? Think here is a stative. It belongs to be. You see? Belongs to be. Which type of be? Number 1, which is what? Verbs of inert perception and cognition. Then what is think here? Think here belongs to what? To A. And which number? Number 1. What is A and number 1? This is what? Activity. It is activity verb. You see? Activity verb. This is A and this is number 1. So think sometimes is an activity verb. Other times it is what? Inert perception or cognition. When it is activity verb, it is what? It takes ing. And it becomes what? It becomes what? Dynamic. It becomes dynamic. When it is inert and cognition, it does not take ing, then it is what? Stative. This is what is related to the stative and dynamic verbs. Now we come to the last or to the third type of tenses or time, which is, you remember we talked about present, you see, past and the future. This we finished with the present and the past, and today we have what? The future. All of you know that the future is what? The future is a time, not a tense. Future is a time. It is not a tense. How can we express the future? We can express the future by using the modal auxiliaries, okay, or semi-auxiliaries. Modal auxiliaries or semi-auxiliaries. The modal auxiliaries, for example, will and shall. Will and shall are modal auxiliaries to give the future time. You see, after will and shall, we use infinitive in all persons. You see, all persons. What are persons? We have first person. You see, we have first person, which is I and we, and we have second person, which is he, she, which is you, second person, which is you, singular, and you, plural. Okay, and we have what? Third person, which is he, she, it for the singular, and they for the plural. This is what? Person. So in all three persons, okay, we use will and shall. You see, will, it is abbreviated into L. I will go and I'll go. You see, or shall plus infinitive. Shall comes with what? This is will, with all persons. Shall comes with what? With first person only, chiefly in British English. Okay, chiefly in British English. So what do you say? You say I will or shall arrive tomorrow. But he, you do not say he shall, you say he will be here in half an hour. In half an hour. So with I, we use both shall and will. Both are acceptable, but the preferable is shall. With he, she, it, no, we use will only. We do not use shall. Right? This is to give the meaning of future. Right. What else? There are other auxiliaries. Look at this sentence. For example, they will have finished their book by next year. They will have finished. Okay, this form or this structure is what? In the past. This structure in the past, but also to show, you know, here it is present perfect. Okay, present perfect with will plus present perfect, to show the meaning of what? To show the meaning of a future. This is one of the meanings of a future. Again, what do we have? Now we finished with modal auxiliaries. Also, be going plus infinitive. There is something important you have to remember, and you have to put it in your minds. I see that some of your students say what? They say I'll going. I will going. Or I will goes. Or I will to go. Or what? I don't remember. What do you write sometimes? All these structures are wrong, not correct. After will, you do not use going or goes or something like this. We use infinitive. we use, after will we use, or after shall we use infinitive. Infinitive is what? To go, for example, but without to. To do, without to. To write. These are infinitive. What do we call them? To infinitive. Okay? To infinitive. What do? We omit to and we put will. I will go. I will do. I shall write. You see? This is very important. Again, how can we express the future time? We can express it by using be going to plus infinitive. Look at these examples. When are you going to get married? When are you going to get married? This is to say that you are not married now, right? And I'm asking you about what? About something in the future. When are you? When about time? When are you going to get married? This is the use of going to get. Going to get. Get is infinitive, you see? To ask about what? About the future. She is going to have a baby. Does she have a baby now? No, she does not have a baby. She is going to have a baby in the future. Okay? What else? It is going to rain. You see some clouds. You know clouds? You see some clouds in the sky. You say it is going to rain. It is not raining now. It is not raining now, but it is going to rain. Okay? Also, we use what? For example, if you leave now, you will never regret it. If you leave now, leave now, you will never regret it. Okay? This is will, and this is conditional clause. This is subordinate, which is secondary clause, and this is the main clause. Clear? Where is going to here? Where is going to? If you leave now, you will never regret it. What is the rule? Both of these suggest that the event is already on the way. Be going to is not generally used in the main clause of conditional sentence. This is a rule. If you have a conditional sentence, we do not use be going to. Okay? What do we use? We use will or shall. Okay? Being preferred. مفضلة. You see? Instead. Being preferred. So, in the conditional clause, we do not use in the main, you see? In the main clause of conditional sentence. Clear? Where is the main clause of this conditional sentence? All this is called conditional sentence. This is the conditional clause, and this is the main clause. This is the secondary clause, and this is the main clause. The main clause of the conditional sentence does not take be going to, but it is preferable to put what? To put will or shall. Good. Let us go where? To the present progressive. Present progressive. Okay? Also present progressive to show the meaning of a future. What do you say? He is moving to London. He is moving to London. There is activity. You see? There is activity or action. Or there is a plan. He is moving to London. Perhaps not now, but in the future. You see? It is not now, in the future. So the present progressive here refers to what? To future happening. It is not now. He is moving to London. When he is moving to London, you do not know, but in the future. He said that, for example, he is moving to London. Good. They are washing the dishes. They are washing the dishes. Also, there is what? There is activity. There is activity. What is the type of washing here? What is the type of washing? Washing is what? Is a dynamic verb. Dynamic verb. Which type of the dynamic? You have to go to the 5 types of dynamic. And how and what are the other types? Also we have what? The stative. And how many stative types? There are 2 according to their meaning. You have to keep them well. They are washing the dishes. How can you distinguish that whether this progressive, present progressive, referring to something now or to something in the future from the adverb? From the adverb. You may distinguish that you are talking about something now. They are washing the dishes. When you say now, it means that they are washing now. When you say they are washing the dishes later, that's to say they planned, you see, planned for washing the dishes. You say they are washing the dishes later, not now. Clear? The plane is taking off at 5:20. You see? Is taking off. Is taking off. You see? To go to the ground or to earth. You see? The president is coming to the United Nations this week. Is coming. What is the type of is coming and is taking? If I ask you, what is the type of this tense or aspect? You say it is present. You see? Continuous. And is coming also present continuous. But what do they give? Which meaning? They give the meaning of a future. So please put it in your minds that we do not get the future only from will and shall and other modal auxiliaries, but we may get them from be going to and from the progressive, present progressive. You see? The simple present also sometimes gives the meaning of the future. How? Look at these sentences. What will you say if I marry my boss? What will you say if I marry my boss? This is conditional. This is conditional clause. It does not happen now. You see? This is conditional. And the conditional is what? Is a secondary clause, subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. You see? And where is the main clause? What will you say is what the main clause. What will you say is the main clause as a question. And the answer, I will say. When will you say? In the future. Good. The guests will be drunk before they leave. Okay? What will you say if I marry my boss? The guests will be drunk before they leave. Look at marry and leave. These are the subject that we are talking now. Marry and leave, both of them are what? Or marry and leave, both of them are what? Are in the simple present. Okay? Marry and leave, both of them are in the present and the simple present. But what they are related to what? They are related to the future, because what will you see? And the guests will be drunk before they leave. So it is not about something happening now. Yesterday was Monday, today is a Tuesday, and tomorrow is what? Is Wednesday. Tomorrow is a future or not a future? When you say yesterday was, for example, Sunday. Today is what? Monday. Tomorrow is what? Is Tuesday. Or you say yesterday was Monday, today is a Tuesday, and tomorrow is Wednesday. Wednesday is what? What is the type of the verb here? It is present simple. It is talking about what? About the future. So this is the simple present, and when it gives the meaning of the future. What else? We may also give the present simple with what? To describe immutable events or fixtures. ثوابت. When is high tide? You see? When is high tide? What time is the football match? Okay, immutable events or fixtures. When is high tide? Is high tide happening now? No, not now, in the future. What time? But what is the tense here? Present simple or simple present. What is the football match? What time is the football match? What time is the football match? This is about the future also. The train leaves tonight from Chicago, or the train is leaving. Here it is a present simple, and here it is present progressive or present continuous. To show the meaning of what? To show the meaning of the future. You see? So these are cases in which we use what? In which we use the present simple to show the meaning of what? Of the future. Will and shall plus a progressive. Will and shall plus a progressive. Let us see how we can use will and shall and not infinitive here. You remember just a minute before we talked about that will and shall should be followed by infinitive. In this case, will and shall are followed by progressive. How? Look well. He will do his best. He will do his best. Clear? It is infinitive. If you wanted to use not do, if you wanted to use doing, what do? You have to put be. You cannot say he will doing. This is wrong. You say he will be doing his best. He will be doing his best. So we have to put between. You see, this is the rule. Will and shall plus be plus verb with ing. Clear? This is the rule. When will you put on another performance? When will you be putting on? You see, we have to put be. When will you come? When will you be coming? So we cannot use the ing or the progressive form after will and shall directly unless there is what? There is be between them. Other expressions to show the meaning, also this is what? Also this is to show the meaning of a future. We still with what? We still with the future. Be plus be2 plus infinitive. Be2 plus infinitive. We are to be married soon. We are to be married soon. This is to show the meaning of what? Of a future. Here, according to the rule, are is be, because you know are is one of the forms of be. To, this is to, and the infinitive other be. So we are to be married soon. We are to be married soon. There is to be an investigation. There is to be an investigation. This is to show the meaning of the future when there is what? When there is what? Arrangement. What do we use? We use be2 plus infinitive. You are to be back by 10 o'clock. You are to be back by 10 o'clock. You see, when, for example, a mother tells her son or her boy to say, you are to be back by 10 o'clock. This is what? This is a command. A command. And it is what? It is a future, not now. She tells him to go to come back what? At 10 o'clock. And not to be late. You are to be. Are, be, to, and infinitive be back. Be back. Be back. You see? The third case in which we use be2 plus infinitive, if he is to succeed, he must work harder. If he wants to succeed. This is contingent future. Contingent future. You see, if he is to succeed, if he wants to succeed, he must work harder. This is, which is one of the forms of be, and to and succeed is what? The infinitive. Clear? Other case in which we use what? Also, you see that there are many different expressions to show the meaning of a future, not only will and shall. Not only will and shall. Be about to also. Be about to show the future of to show the future time. The taxi is here and we are about to leave. The taxi is here and we are about to leave. Okay? This is coordinator. This is coordinator or linking. هذه أداة ربط بين جملتين. The taxi is here is a sentence and we are about to leave is another sentence. Okay? Where is our example? This is our example. So be, are is be. About to, this is about to. And infinitive, this is the infinitive, which is leave. You see? So are about to leave. Be according to rule. According to the rule حسب القاعدة. يعني من أسئلك هذه الجملة حسب شنو؟ تقول لي حسب قاعدة be about to plus infinitive. هاي الجملة حسب شنو؟ أي قاعدة؟ حسب be to plus infinitive. What to give the meaning? To give the meaning of a future. Good. Only these cases which give the meaning of the future? No. Look well. These cases which are the present simple to give the meaning of the future. يعني put this in your minds that the present simple can give the meaning of the future, not only the meaning of the present. What else? This is also the past. You see, the past can give me what? Can give the meaning of the future. Look well. For example, with which case? With these 5 cases, or in these 5 cases which are in the past to give the meaning of what? Of a future. Look well. First with auxiliary verb construction, which is would. The time was not far off when he would regret this decision. You see? This decision. Would regret. Would is what? Is the past form of will. It gives the meaning of the past. But it is not the meaning here. Here it is the form. You see, would here is the form. Will here is the form. Here it is a present form, and here it is what? Past form. So what is, when I ask you what is the form of would, you say the form is what? Past. But what is the meaning? The meaning is a future. It is a future. Be going to plus infinitive. Be going to plus infinitive. You were going to give me your address. You were going to give me your address. Where is what? Where is the past of be? Where, was, and where are the past forms of be. Past forms of be. And what are the present forms of be? Is, are. You see, these are the present forms of be. Clear? Good. The past form of be is where? We're going to now in the past form. What do they give? They give the meaning of the future. You were going to give me your address. You see? As if you are telling somebody that you are going to give me your address. Is it now? No, it is in the future. I was meeting him in Bordeaux the next day. Or in Borders the next day. I was meeting him. You see? This is what? Also the past form. What is the type here? Past progressive or past continuous. Past progressive or past continuous. I was meeting him in Bordeaux the next day. Okay? Is this now? No. Is it in the past? No, it is what? In the future, the next day. Okay? B2 plus infinitive. B2 plus infinitive. This is B2. Okay? B2 was 2. Was 2. B2 was 2. And the infinitive is regret. Was 2 is what? In the past. The meeting was to be held. This is be is the infinitive, and was to is what? B2. In which form? In the past. What do they give? They give the meaning of the future. He was later to regret his decision. Okay? And the meeting was to be held the following week. The fifth type, be about to also in the past. It is the present now, but you see that was is the past form of be. Actually, be is a present, and the past of be is what? Was. So when we say that in the past form, we do not mean be, we mean was. He was about to hit me. He was about to hit me. Now, no, in the future. This is what? He was about to hit me. Was is what? Was is one of be forms, and about to, and then what? The infinitive. In these cases, what? The past form gives what? The meaning of the future. Let us take what? Do we take the mood now, or we leave it for the coming lecture? Okay, leave it for the coming lecture. Thank you very much, and see you in the coming lecture.